You might notice this criticism of the media that says this is not the most deadly shooting in American history. Don't engage in erasure and whitewashing of American history and honor all the victims. And so a lot of that is referring to a tragic incident all the way back in 1890, the Wounded Knee Massacre. Somewhere between 250 and 300 Native Americans, men, women, and children, were all slaughtered. This happened at the hands of the US Army. So there are a few major points I want to make. First among them is this is not a tragedy contest.
Tell me where my son is.
A life lost is a life lost, period. That being said, there are differences between what happened in 1890 in South Dakota and what occurred in Orlando that make those two incidents very different and in many eyes put them in separate categories.
It's a week now since the worst
mass shooting in U.S. history.
Mass shooting in modern U.S. history.
When media outlets or presidential candidates say this is the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, they are referring to a very modern definition of mass shootings and mass murder. The Virginia Tech massacre or the Newtown shooting.
Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
They fall under one modern definition of a mass shooting. Public space, one or few lone shooters, multiple victims. The Tulsa race riots are another example of a mass killing of a group of people that took place in the United States. The estimates for dead in the Tulsa race riots ranged from 30 people to nearly 300. And while that was not an official entity like the 7th Cavalry Regiment, it was a group, which would also exclude it from the modern definition of mass murder or mass shooting. However you define it, it might be most accurate to call the Pulse nightclub shooting the deadliest in modern American history. The most important point though, whether it's Native Americans in the 19th century or a gay nightclub, a tragedy is a tragedy.